Welcome everyone to Revenue Development Session 2. Tonight we're going to get started, and these are your first steps. And I want to remind you, some of you on the call tonight are just getting started with looking at Young Living as a possible portfolio option, possibly as a business starting as a part-time, and then soon we'll move into that when you replace your income as a full-time business. Or maybe you're just curious of how you can help people. And so those of you on the call tonight, I would like to just remind you that these are the foundational skills and strategies to be effective at helping others to understand the value of investing in their health. And it also gives the skills and strategies to make Young Living a lucrative option for those of you that wish to share that. But these sessions are really to set that foundational information for those just starting. And those of you that are on the call tonight as seasoned leaders, this is very basic information, but hopefully you will teach this and equip others. Remember, there's 3 key steps: enrolling, outrageous customer service, and equipping others. And you've got to have all 3 parts to make the most effective growth to bring this to a lucrative portfolio option. So tonight we're going to look at getting started, and this is the next step for equipping someone else. And the faster you equip others, the faster you're going to experience exponential growth. And we're going to talk more about that compounding result next week. So I'm anxious for you to join us. This photo is intriguing. At county fairs, many people enjoy watching an old-fashioned horse pull. They put various weights on the horse's wagon, and the horse pulls to see who can pull the most weight. I'd like you to jot this number down, if you would please. The grand champion horse pulled 4,500 pounds. Now the runner-up draft horse pulled 4,400 pounds. Well, someone got the great idea to hook these horses together and make bets on what they could pull together. Now I just added up the numbers, 4,500 plus 4,400. I figured those horses would pull around that 8,900 pounds, right? Wouldn't you? Well, listen to this. Hitched together and working together, those horses pulled over 12,000 pounds. Isn't that amazing? There is a remarkable lesson to be learned with this photograph in the area of business. And here's the lesson. A great team is always greater than the sum of its parts. So my theory to that is, let's do it together. To accomplish great things, we must not only act, but dream. And we must not only plan, but believe. So my question to you is, are you setting an example of passion and encouragement and commitment? Because that is what multiplies effectiveness. So, are you doing your share of pulling, or are you just waiting and hoping that someone else will pull your wagon up the hill? And let me remind you of this. Do you truly, deep down in your gut, believe in your cause? Do you have the butterflies yet? As you get started in the Young Living business, you probably have a lot of questions, such as, well, do I need a business license? No, you don't. You're running off of a sole proprietorship at the beginning. Do I need a separate bank account? Well, a separate bank account is helpful to keep track of things separately from your personal items. Do I need to track expenses? Well, one of the advantages of a home-based business is to keep track of some of those expenses, which are now write-offs. And I'll give you a little bit more about that momentarily. And the most fearful question is, what if they say yes? What do I do? In the documents that were sent to you today, there was something called a foundational business checklist. So use that as your guide as you're first starting. Another key question is, what about taxes? Young Living keeps track of all of your purchases, your commissions, and your sales tax. And they send that back to you at the end of the year, so you don't have to worry about that. But you will want to keep track of your own expenses. Not that you have to, but you will literally save thousands by doing so. And the best home-based tax savings guide that I know of is by Ron Mueller. So write this website down, www.savingthousands.net. And for about $38, you've got a great book to help you know what to keep track of and how to keep track of it. It's an amazing resource. Let's move into our key point of tonight is really getting started. And it all begins with passion. And I love John Maxwell's book, The 21 Indispensable Qualities of a Leader. And he says there's 4 truths about passion. The stronger your fire, the greater the desire, and the greater the potential you build. Passion is the fuel for the will. If you want anything badly enough, you can find the willpower to achieve it. The only way to have that kind of desire is to develop that passion deep in your gut, where you can't wait to get up in the morning. If you follow your passion instead of others' perceptions, you can't help becoming a more dedicated, productive person, and that increases your ability to impact others. Human beings are so made that whenever anything fires the soul, impossibilities vanish. That's why passionate leaders are so effective. A leader with great passion and few skills always outperforms a leader with great skills and very little passion. Building passion. Do you know what you have with Young Living? Look through these photos. When you think of the time and effort and the art and the science that's combined to bring you these amazing essential oils and oil-enhanced nutrition, which is at optimal levels, you can't help but get goosebumps. And I don't know any other company that has a founder and president who literally gets his fingernails dirty. He's out there in the fields. He's out there combing the jungles and through the Middle East. And right now as we speak, he's out in Idaho running the tractors and the big semis to bring us the amazing Idaho balsam fir. And with trial and error and combining the art and science, We have a president who exemplifies passion for what he believes in and what he wants to bring to others. And it just gets me excited. And realize what you have. No other company gives you this. And the other very unique thing about the Young Living Company is they own almost 5,000 acres of fields to grow our beautiful essential oils. No other company has farms like that. They have to broker every oil they have. So to me, it's really amazing when we start looking at everything that goes into producing these amazing essential oils at optimal constituents. It's just an amazing feat when you think of it. Also, when we think and ponder, do we really know what we have? Think about it from a health standpoint. Let's take one example here. What are the top 3 factors, risk factors, that contribute to hormone imbalance? Do you know? Overuse of medications, nutritional gaps, and toxins in your own homes, schools, and workplaces. What about top risk factors for cancer? Now we know, I have a list of 33, we know there's more than that, and it's the sum of the risk factors that overwhelms the body. But do you know the top 3 risk factors causing concern? Again, overuse of medication, nutritional gaps, and toxins in our homes, schools, and workplaces. Well, now let's think about it. What are the 3 major keys to optimal health? Now we're taking exercise, water, whole food nutrition. All of that's a given because that's obvious. But do you know what the 3 major keys to optimal health are? Well, let's do the opposite of those risk factors. What if we created a healthy medicine chest? What if we filled those nutritional gaps? And what if we greened our homes with therapeutic grade oils and not commercial grade oils? Do you notice a pattern here? We can literally change the outcome of someone's health 10 years from now. Do you see the value of the Young Living starter kits and the other amazing products? I challenge you, whose life will you change today? Do you realize what you have? You have options to address the top 3 risk factors in your own health and in others. You have the options to change the main issues messing up our hormones. And you give people options to move towards optimal health. The results are total lifestyle. I don't know any other company that offers you total lifestyle. Now here's one to ponder. How much is your health worth? I don't care who you are. You can be the CEO of a leading company. You can be the owner of 10 franchises. You can be the best financial advisor out there. You can be the most phenomenal doctor in the world, but where would you be if you lost your health? So, is there value in focusing and investing in your health daily? And yes, it can happen to you. Did you know that 43% of all 40-year-olds will experience an average of 3 months time away from work due to health reasons by the time they retire? That is almost half of us. We need to take action and invest in our health. We need to look at a paradigm shift. Who is in charge of your health? Do you agree we need to encourage each other to take control of our health by investing in it? Do you agree we need to encourage each other to equip ourselves with education and awareness? Do we agree we need to encourage each other to investigate healthier options first if something occurs instead of jumping right into the over-medicating ourselves? Realize that doctors are our partners in health, but we are the CEOs of our health. Why did this happen to me? Is a question so many people ask. Without a plan, will your personal assets be caught up in medical expenses? How do you enjoy life or retirement without your health? Is finding $3 per day to invest in your health worth it? Do you realize people already are buying these health products, cleaning products, and personal care products with their current budget? Can you see the value in teaching individuals to use the transfer buying list? That was in your documents last week. Start using that and showing people how to transfer buy. They're already buying these products. The key phrase is same budget, better choices. Approximately 3 out of 4 women will at some time live in poverty. You have the options, not only health-wise, but using Young Living as a vehicle. You also have answers for people with their own financial issues. Look at the passion in this face. Would you agree that there is an urgency? Are you feeling it in your gut how important this is? There are many effective ways of sharing which result in growing your organization. The key to building an organization quickly is to realize that exponential growth can only happen when you equip others to do the same. Your choice. Choose a technique that fits your personality and your family situation. This is how you grow. But then you're going to equip others by sharing these 4 sessions that we're going through these 4 weeks to equip them to do the same. But there's no right or wrong technique to growing your organization. If you love to do one-on-one appointments, do them. If you love standing in front of people and giving classes, go for it. If you love webinars where you can get touch a population all over the nation, do them. Some people love warm markets. Some people love cold market. There's expos. There's all sorts of ways that you can grow your organization, but choose what fits your personality and your family situation. And make sure it feels good. This should be fun and exciting and passionate. There is no wrong way of doing this business, but there are effective methods and ineffective methods. So how do you tell if the one you chose is effective? Look at your measurement that I showed you last week. And if you weren't able to attend last week, make sure you touch base with me or the person that invited you so that you know how to measure. And if you are growing every month, if the number of people in your organization are growing and the number of people you personally enroll and your organizational volume is growing, then you must be doing a pretty effective job. So good for you. If you're not growing, you probably need to reflect. As a CEO, you must judge for yourself. If I'm not enrolling consistently or my organization isn't growing, I need to ask myself, maybe I need to practice more effective dialogue. Maybe I need to change my approach. Maybe I need to equip others, and so forth. Now here's where we want to really take note. If your goal is 1,000 people in your organization, enrolling one person per week will take you 21 years. But if you enroll a person a week and equip another person or 2 other people or 3 other people to do the same, it will take you a matter of months. So equipping others is very important because you begin the ripple effect. Your business offers you the opportunity to make unique achievements and really make a positive footprint in the world. Realize that you are building significance and purpose. But the key thing, profits follow service to others. So build significant and purpose. That is your focus. So getting started, let's look at these starter collections. Well, whoop-de-doo is what everybody is saying. So there are so many companies out there. So the person you're talking to is probably saying, well, everybody says that. What makes yours any different? It's too expensive. What's in it for me? Did you notice we're starting to practice and be able to equip you to answer some of that? So we need to think through, why is Young Living unique? What sets Young Living apart from other companies? You need to practice and prepare and know in your heart what you believe in. So tips to sharing the starter collections. I think the most important thing you can do is to help people have an experience or to stir emotion. You want to always tell a story or two. Facts tell, stories sell. You don't have to fire hose people with a gazillion facts. Tell a story. Tell the benefits that you have received. And here's the key, a clear call to action. Because as I feel I can stir emotion, people see that I'm passionate, and I can tell stories because I've seen so many benefits. But if I don't ask them, there won't be any enrolling or any setting up the account. So you need to have that clear call to action. And master just a couple of effective methods for enrolling others. And then as you master those, then you can start adding other methods to your bag of techniques. So there's many ways to do this, and I'm going to show you a technique that you may not have seen before, just so you have another technique for sharing with people. And this one has proven effective because we have consistently enrolled at least 4 people a month using this method. So before I demonstrate this for you, I want you to focus that there are 3 keys to health. And I also want to mention that there's many niches out there. There's moms groups, there's book clubs, there's lake associations, there's, every group you can imagine, teacher associations. I mean, it goes on and on and on. So this demonstration is one that you not only can do at a group meeting, such as those that I mentioned, but it's simple enough to use when you're sitting there watching your children's sporting events, or maybe you're out volunteering somewhere and it just happens to come up, or it can be even used at a wellness expo. It doesn't matter, but it's just a simple technique that is applicable to many, many places. And I also have used this technique as part of my presentation even to healthcare workers. And it really enlightens them, I think, to the value that essential oils can bring to their life. So I'm excited to share this with you. And it's easily adaptable, and it's a home remedy demo that I think you can share easily. But make sure you focus on 3 keys to health. And those 3 keys cover our starter collections all in less than a half hour. So let's take a look. Here's the chart that I have with me all the time, and I just refer to it as the BioFreeze chart. But let me share with you a little 7-minute dialogue, and you can do this, like I said, anywhere, but I'm going to pretend tonight that I'm coming back for an appointment with this person, and I'm going to pretend that the small talk has already taken place. And so, and I always refer to the person as Sally. So Sally and I have been visiting a little bit, and the small talk is finished. Well, Sally, do you have any health concerns at this moment? And what I'm going to do at this time is just sit back in my chair and really listen to see what she says. And if she does have health concerns, don't address them at this moment. Just jot some notes down or make some mental note, because you're going to address those at the end of this session. But first, you're going to give her a little background. So Sally, I would like to demonstrate for you, before we look specifically at your issues, just to give you a little background knowledge here before we go too much further. And just question, Sally, do you ever experience stress? And I don't know for you, but for me it always pulls right up here in my shoulders and neck. Have you ever experienced stress? And now Sally's shaking her head, yes, of course, because I think all of us have experienced stress. Well, Sally, I have found this little home remedy that has been so helpful for me to take away that tension while I'm at work, or to ease those sore muscles after I've been working out. And so many people have been thrilled because these 2 little practical essential oils are giving them more effective results than the BioFreeze that they get from the chiropractor. So I want to show you this little chart here. Do you see the BioFreeze and Bengay on the left there? And I want you to take notice of the ingredients that is on the label of these pain-relieving creams. Do you see right here that they contain some pretty awful chemicals? And down here too, and I know the parabens are something on watch for breast cancer. And so it kind of concerns me a little bit that because our skin is our largest organ, and what I do know is all of these synthetic compounds accumulate in fatty tissue and over time cause us problems. And so I myself was looking for more of a home remedy that would be more natural and health enhancing for me. So this is what I did, Sally. I started comparing the active ingredients. And you can see right here methyl salicylate is the active ingredient in Bengay, and that's at 30%, and that's a synthetic methyl salicylate. Well, look at a beautiful, natural, organic methyl salicylate here in wintergreen. It's 90%. Are you familiar with wintergreen lifesavers, Sally? Well, yeah, families have been using wintergreen for years in their food, right? So for me, I just thought to myself, would I rather have a plant that my body knows what to do with, or do I want to use these products with all these synthetic chemicals that accumulate in fatty tissue over time, causing chronic issues? And I don't know if you know this, Sally, but the EPA says 50% of all disease is caused by hidden toxins that accumulate in our fatty tissue, and those toxins are found in our homes, schools, and workplaces. So for me, I wanted to find something a little more health enhancing. Now look at the BioFreeze. Now that's touted as a natural product, but notice it is only 3.5% natural menthol. And then it has all these other yucky chemicals in there. But look at our beautiful organic peppermint. The menthol is 34 to 44% menthol in order to be a therapeutic grade. Isn't that amazing? Now, Sally, what I'd like to do now is, where do you hold your stress? Do you hold it in your shoulders too? Oh, perfect. Okay, well, let's do this little home remedy so you can feel what I'm talking about. Let's open our bottle now of wintergreen, and I'm just going to put a little dab here on your fingers, and watch how I do it here. I just rub my fingers together, and then I put it right on my shoulders. Right, do you ever get those knots up there in the neck? Yeah, yeah, they're right there. That's where I put mine. And now this is called layering. Now I'm opening up the bottle of peppermint. I'm going to put a couple of drops on your fingers again, rub those fingers together, and now what you're going to do is layer. This is called layering. Layer that right on the wintergreen on your shoulders and neck like you did before. And now rub your hands together, and I want you to breathe in. Oh, can you feel the peppermint? It goes right into the lungs, and it just opens that up. And that's why a lot of athletes use peppermint. It really opens the lung capacity. And can you just see how it opens up the whole nasal passage and everything? Now, it'll only take a minute, and you'll start feeling the action of the wintergreen and peppermint. Do you feel it yet? Yes, isn't it amazing? And now, do you see why that would be a phenomenal stress reliever at work or after working out? I have just found that to be just a phenomenal product. And I even put that, I have a sore knee, so I even put that layering effect on my knee before biking. It's just so phenomenal. So do you see the value in using something that is in its natural form so the body knows what to do with it rather than something with all those chemicals? Yeah. Can you feel the essential oils working now? Yes. Isn't it wonderful? Those Young Living oils are of high quality, and there's a big difference in essential oils. So consumers need to educate themselves if they are truly looking at them for health purposes. Now also, when we start to compare, can you see why more and more individuals are replacing chemicals and those over-the-counter meds with these quality essential oils? Yes, they're literally health enhancing. And in my own heart, I know that they help the environment. And so now, just very simple. Are you shrugging your shoulders? Can you feel that? Yeah. Do you see that not only is this an excellent stress reliever, but it could be possibly used for other things as well? Yeah. Does that intrigue you enough for me to continue? Oh, great. Well, let's talk about the next oil that I love, and that's the Thieves oil. And Thieves is probably one of my all-time favorite oils. And the reason is here, let me put a drop on your palm here, rub it together, and just take a whiff. Oh my gosh, can you smell that cinnamon? It's just gorgeous. Well, it's cold and flu season right now, and this Thieves essential oil is such a significant oil for my own family to keep those nasty germs out of the house. And I run a diffuser every day to keep those colds to a minimum. Plus, it disinfects everything with it. So can you imagine what would happen to our health if we began to reduce the chemicals in our home and reduce the overuse of medications that have accumulated in the body? Can you see as a consumer the value of these clinical quality essential oils in your life? Does it make sense then to have an arsenal of oils? Well, let me show you something else, Sally. This is something I have found valuable. I'd like to share this brochure with you because it emphasizes 3 keys to health, which I think, in my opinion, is the most important thing you will ever do for yourself and your family. And when I open this brochure, you can see that there's 3 things to consider, in addition, of course, to the exercise, water, and so forth. But we really want to focus on total lifestyle because that's the key to energy and stamina and great attitude and longevity. So when we take a look at this brochure now, you can see over to the left that one of the biggest risk factors is overuse of medications. So we can counter that by creating a healthy medicine chest with this beautiful everyday oil collection. These 9 oils truly will replace all of those over-the-counter meds and your first aid kit. It's a phenomenal thing to have in your house, and I don't think any family should be without it. In the middle here, the second key to health is really filling the nutritional gaps. And I don't know if you know this, but even though you're a healthy eater, I'm a healthy eater, there are gaps in our nutrition. And so we need to supplement according to how we eat. And so I find these nutritional products that are oil enhanced, which increases the assimilation, will outperform any other nutritional product that we have ever used for our own family. They are amazing. And over to the right is the third most important way of reducing the third risk factor, and that is all of those horrible toxins that the EPA says are in our homes, schools, and workplaces. And this beautiful Thieves collection truly gives us green living. And so total lifestyle is the answer to vibrant health. And so these 3 keys, I think, are the obvious focus areas to start our journeys to vibrant health. Is there an area that is most important to you and your family at the moment? Oh, super. I love the Thieves collection as well. And something you may want to think about at the next time too is you were concerned about your energy. So you also may want to look at that Ningxia Red. But let's talk about that Thieves collection because I agree with you. That's probably the most important thing we can do as a mom and as a woman for our health. So good, great, that's awesome. Now, those of you listening as an audience tonight, this is where you would go a little bit more into the Thieves products, but I'm not going to do that tonight. I'm going to close now as if I already did that. Sally, can you imagine what would happen to your health if we were able to reduce those chemicals and reduce the over-the-counter meds that have accumulated in our bodies over time? Yeah. Can you as a consumer see the value of implementing all 3 keys to health? Is this something you would find valuable for you and your family? Well, would you like to get started? Awesome. Yes. Well, this particular Thieves collection is $150. But what's really cool is it includes the $40 to set up a wholesale account. Plus, there's a 50% off coupon for a diffuser. It's an awesome kit and you will absolutely love it. Here's the information that I will need in order to assist you in setting up your wholesale account. And then you will get your products and so forth in about 5 to 7 working days. And then I'll check back with you and make sure you got it and everything was okay. So just finish filling out that form there and okay. So everybody, that's how I share very quickly in less than 7 minutes using the Trifold brochure. Well, I hope you found that helpful because it has been very effective. Like I said, we've been averaging 4 people, new people every month for a number of years now. And so that's a very easy and effective way. So when we're meeting with Sally now, as we start to close and she's filled out the form, then we want to ask her these questions. And we want to think about her budget. So Sally, do you currently have a budget in mind that you are willing to invest in your health each month? Do you realize you can use your same budget? It comes out investing about $3 to $4 a day in those 3 keys to optimal health instead of buying the products you currently purchase. And would you find value in building dynamic energy and a strong immune system? And so here is what I need to assist you in setting up that account. So we're going to take a look, Sally, at the next 3 months and implement all 3 keys to optimal health, which will target the main risk factors that most people aren't even aware about. And the results, you will increase your energy, your vitality, your longevity. It's amazing. Do you know anyone, Sally, who would benefit from greening your home, filling the nutritional gaps, or creating a healthy medicine chest? Do you notice, everyone on the audience tonight, you need to ask for referrals, and this is after the form has been filled out so that she's already done with that and you're just visiting and you're closing down. Do you know anyone? Get in the habit of asking for referrals. There's a very quick chemistry lesson to explain why the oils are so powerful to make the oil-enhanced nutrition so significant. And I'm going to hurry along here, but we can do this one again. But you can get all of this information through Dr. Stewart's books and training. But the phenylpropanoids very quickly cleanse the receptor sites. The sesquiterpenes have many healing properties, but they're the ones that restore communication, hence the picture of the cell phone. And the monoterpenes are the ones who deliver the oxygen and nutrients to the cells directly. Oils are lipid soluble, so the oils are able to pass through the cell membrane with no energy. And that's why your assimilation is so much more powerful. And so I always think of the monoterpenes as the choo-choo trains. And so if you remember these little photographs, scrubbing bubbles, cell phones, and choo-choo trains, you will understand why oil-enhanced nutrition is so significant. I hope that helps you to see the value of adding essential oils to the nutrition. And that's why people will have better results than any other nutritional products on the market. The only time you are actually growing is when you are uncomfortable. So this week's challenge, try this technique 3 times during the week. You're going to take your BioFreeze chart and your trifold brochure, and you're going to practice. Practice on your best friend. That's how you get comfortable. So now let's look at some more entrepreneurial concepts quickly. The cash flow quadrant. Where are you at? We really need to shift our mindset. This comes from Robert Kiyosaki, and so if you get his book, he will explain this in more details. But when you look at the left side of the cash flow quadrant, you have E for employee, S for self-employed. Well, Michael and I were employees all of our life. And I was a teacher and he was an officer in the Air Force. And so we were over in the left side of the quadrant. And many people are self-employed. Your doctors are self-employed, your psychologists are self-employed, your massage therapists are self-employed. And what that means is you are running your business 24/7. That's your responsibility. But what Robert Kiyosaki says, if you go over to the right side of the quadrant and you become a business owner, and he defines the business owner where you don't have to report to the office. The business runs without you. And so he says that about 500 employees is about what that takes. And so by becoming a distributor for Young Living, you become part of a business owner. You set your own hours, and the Young Living provides the amazing products, and you're in charge of the serving your customers. And so you become part of that business owner. And also then on the right side of the quadrant is an investor. And so you want to take a look at that. Where are you? And I just want to make a point that Michael and I were in this situation about 12 years ago. Michael and I have always had great purpose in our lives. He was a U.S. Air Force officer, and so he served his country. And I was a teacher for 20 plus years, and I served children, and we found that very purposeful. But we found we never had time for our own life priorities, and we were concerned about a better portfolio option in case of family emergencies. And we knew so many people that were in need, and you just never know about the security of our jobs. So we finally asked ourselves, do we want our life different in 10 years? And if so, we needed to prioritize and commit to something we believed in which we could create that security, first off, and secondly, have time for our life priorities. And I am so glad we had made that decision. When my kids were in high school, it was a joy to be the parents that were at every game and event. We owned our life, and we could close down the office to be at their events. And we still got paid even though we are cheering our children on. When my own family needed me, I was able to be there without worrying about pay or my job because we built our Young Living business to be self-sustaining, and it maintained while I was able to be a caretaker for a couple serious family situations for several months. I got paid while I was taking care of my family. And I don't know about your job, but what would happen if your family needed you tomorrow to help take care of someone? Or what if you had a disabling situation for several months, like the statistics show? I don't know about you, but when I was a teacher, we could only get 10 days sick leave, and after that, you took pay without leave. This is why you build your Young Living business now. It's security for emergencies, and it gives you time to live life. The greatest benefits of pursuing a network marketing business is that you literally own your life. You're not married to a job 24/7. like if you are employed or self-employed. Network marketing business not only leverages your income, but it leverages your time. Internalize the benefits of this type of business. Communicate those to others. The power of leverage should give you butterflies. The business is interwoven with your life. It's not extra. You're able to leverage time, leverage your income. You get tax benefits. When Michael and I were in the Air Force and teaching, we were employees. We had no tax benefits. The other benefit, you dictate your own schedule. You own your life. Okay, now it's your turn. What other benefits can you think of? What uniqueness does Young Living offer? Total lifestyle. Entrepreneurial concepts. You need to consistently and intentionally sow more than enough seeds. The harvest is always greater than the number of seeds planted, but the farmer has to get out and plant. It's the law of sowing and reaping. And I can't say enough about the power of focus. Focus on one thing, one business. Find your passion with one company you believe in full-heartedly. Don't get distracted by all the things life throws at you. Say no to the good and yes to the best. Comparing businesses. There are many great options, but what fits your goals financially and your lifestyle goals? Franchises are interesting. They're right up there as far as the with network marketing as far as growth. But remember the cash flow quadrant. With a franchise, you need to be there 24/7. You need to deal with employees and schedules and so forth. Plus, there's a large capital investment to begin. So think about it. What quadrant does that fall under? Direct sales, Cabby, Leah Sophia Jewelry, etc. It's a good working income, but when you stop working, you stop getting paid. What quadrant is that in? The difference is network marketing businesses. There are companies that pay huge upfront bonuses, and people get excited about these. But what they come to realize is that it is set up similar to a working income. You have to be out there hustling to continue getting paid each month. They do have residual, but because of the product line, if they don't keep rallying the troops, interest is lost because the products don't stand on their own. So be careful of which network company you're working for. The reason Michael and I felt so strongly about Young Living, not only did it match who we were and the lifestyle we really believed in, but the goal in business is to build longevity. My goal is to work part-time with a full-time salary, and what we were able to build is something 4 times more than that. Young Living can result in a real portfolio that stands on its own because the product has value long after you leave. You have no employees, no big upfront capital investment to begin with. It's purposeful. You set your own schedule, and it truly makes a difference in people's lives. That's why we chose Young Living. It fit our values and passions to serve people. It had lucrative potential that matched our desired financial outcomes. The focus is on quality products that truly contribute to people's lives. It was a leading industry in the growing wellness revolution, so it has nationwide and worldwide growth potential. And profits follow as a result of service to others. Young Living is not focused on money, money, money. They're focused on serving others, and profits result as a service to others. So here are the commissions. Can I really make a living at this? These are the average salaries. Now, this isn't with the bonuses. That's something extra, and we'll talk a little bit more about that next week. But bonuses can certainly add another lucrative dimension. And many of you are already getting the $500 bonus with just 18 people, so that's very cool. But the big emphasis here is these are residual passive incomes. Look at this, executive, $550 average per month. If you're silver, the average silver is getting paid $2,500 per month. Now think about that. Even if you only build to silver, look at that income. Now there is a good portfolio option to have in your retirement. But it gets better. Gold, $9,100 per month. Now that's achievable. Gold is achievable. And look at the average salary, $9,100. And I know golds that are making $20,000 per month, but these are the averages. Platinum, $21,500 is the average. The average diamond makes $29,000. Crown diamonds go on from there, and it's endless. Would you agree that it may be more effective for you to create abundance for your family, have security, have the time, and then be able to really help others from a place of strength and means? If you are already generous, more money will simply allow you to be even more generous. Embrace the compensation plan. Study it. Plan strategically how to use it to increase your own commissions. Live it. Get excited about comparing your paychecks and figure out how the bonuses work by achieving them. Formulate the value for you and others with this comp plan by comparing it to other comp plans. Don't let someone tell you that their comp plan is better. You better study it, because I don't know about you, but I want residual passive income where I don't have to be there. I just want to be there. What if someone asks you questions about the comp plan and you don't know them? Well, do you remember the strategies for questions that catch you off guard from last week? That's a good question. Let me get back to you. You know, I don't know everything, but here's what I do know about the comp plan. You know, I used to feel that way, but now I found any of those strategies will help you if you get caught off guard with a question. That's when you call your upline. Exciting results. Executives striving to silver. It is so exciting because this was another phenomenal month. And these people here, look at that, 44% growth over the highest month, 24% growth over her highest month, 20% growth. Oh my goodness. Even Young Living distributors with very large organizations were experiencing a monthly growth of 8 to 16%. Now, if you know anything about business, that is a huge growth. Do you realize this pattern of growth is coveted by the top producing corporations of the nation? So, let's review. What is this business? Have you practiced explaining this in less than 10 minutes? Can you explain? Do you remember the lawn mowers and the working income? And then we hired a friend and we kept $1 and that was our leveraged income. That was from last week. Now what we did was then explain it to the concept of real estate. Do you remember that? And then we moved it to the Young Living business. Same principle. But do you notice now, here's level 1. Here's level 2 now. Do you see that coming? Level 1 is right around us. Level 2, now we're starting to get people on level 2. That's called unilevel. And now what we did is we just straightened those circles out into a linear graphic. Here's our unilevel again. Here's our level 1, our level 2. Now let's just focus on distributor right here. Level 1, level 2, remember those circles? You get paid down 2 levels as a distributor, $50 minimum order. That's only if you choose, you don't have to. As a star, $100 order, now you get paid down 3 levels. And we don't have time to go in this tonight, but we can certainly go through that in another training. But if you go on to your distributor resources, they have a comp plan overview in there that will be helpful, and you can check with your upline to go over that with you. The key things here are enroller and sponsor. If you are the person responsible for the follow-up with this person, you are the enroller, and you always want to be the enroller if you are their contact. Now, if you are helping someone else with their contacts, then they are the enroller. Now, the sponsor, this is the person you have placed your new contact under. This is usually yourself when you're first starting. You're going to be the enroller and the sponsor. But as you begin building your lines, you may choose to sponsor a person under someone else. And that you will want to go over with your upline for good strategy as well. But here's some real life commission checks. This is a senior star, July versus August. And I want to show you here, this is the most important part. You see this starter kit bonus? Whenever you enroll someone with a premium starter kit, you get about $53 or more. You get $25 as a starter kit bonus, and I call that a thank you from Young Living bonus. And you get a star performance bonus of 25% of that particular order. So this person must have purchased more than the starter collection. They must have gotten the starter collection and some other things because the 25% is much higher. But isn't that cool? And then this senior star automatically a passive income of the unilevel bonus. So their first checks here were about $194. Now look at the same person now. They didn't start anybody new with a starter kit bonus, but they did enroll somebody with a $40 kit and then some products because they still got a little bit of the star performance bonus. But look at this. That same person that ordered back in this month, they ordered again. So they got a second month bonus with 15%, which they can add to their check, which is really cool. Now look at here, unilevel bonus. That's those circles that I was telling you about, the passive income. This time she got $94. So you add all of that up. She had a customer. You get 24% of your customers, but that's not the way to grow your business, but sometimes people like to do that. And right here, do you see this $100? That is her first. She must have had 6 people on her front line, all with 100 PV essential rewards to get that $100 bonus. So her total earnings were $234. So isn't that cool? That's a senior star. Now look at this. This is silver. Now, look at here. Starter kit bonus. She enrolled someone with the starter collection. She got 25% of that collection. She got a second month from a person who had ordered the month before. She got an additional 17. That's your 15% for the second month order. But now, see this matching bonus? This is exciting. Evidently, the person that ordered the month before or 2 months before, they actually enrolled someone. And they must have, so she got a matching bonus here. And she must have had several people enroll someone else. So she might have had a class or something. But she got a matching bonus because those people had enrolled someone new within the first 3 months of themselves ordering, and so she got a matching bonus. So Young Living not only gives you this unilevel bonus, but they give you all these other bonuses. Now here is the icing on the cake. Do you see this personal generation here? This is where you start experiencing exponential growth. Now other people are creating the compounding effect. Notice $357 was just additional because she made silver. So her total check this month was $1,547. Now what do you think about that? That is a great passive income. Oh my gosh, you can go on vacation, you can put away for a college fund, you could give it to somebody in need, whatever you want to do with it. That's phenomenal. We're going to talk about how to earn the $2,000 bonus more next week, so I'm going to leave that for right now, but I want you to start studying that on your own a little bit and start drawing your chart, because I want to show you how phenomenal this is. But can you see the value of sharing with your heart, with others, the value of Young Living as a vehicle for wellness, purpose, and abundance? Can you imagine how someone's life will be impacted physically, emotionally, and financially? Embrace the compensation plan. Utilize the compensation plan and plan strategically to accomplish the plan. So now what do I do? First steps. Your challenge this week is to enroll one person within the next week and 2 more people by the end of the month. So you're going to probably have to talk to 10 people. Enroll 4 to 8 people within the next 2 months. Now that's a challenge. What happens if you only enroll 2 people this month? Does it matter? No. What matters is that you did it, and congratulate yourself. But then teach someone else to do it, so then you can do it together and get the 4 to 8 people. That would be cool too. So how are you going to do that? You are going to practice your dialogue this week, and that was on the attachments today. Practice the yes questions. Did you notice how many yes questions I asked? And I probably overemphasized it today when I was demonstrating, but I think you get the picture. You want people nodding their head yes. Practice getting your half-hour appointment. Practice your 10-minute business presentation. Remember, you can use the EDR as your expert, or you can use a CD or any other tool. Use the stories on the Wellness, Purpose, and Abundance DVD. Order that DVD. Carrie's story will knock your socks off. That is a tear-jerking story and shows you the value. So order your Wellness, Purpose, and Abundance DVD on the Young Living website. It's phenomenal. Use the YouTube videos on the Young Living site. Have you watched those? There are doctors on there, physical therapists, there's a nurse on there. Phenomenal. 3 keys to remember for sharing during your first steps. Create an experience or stir an emotion, share a story, and a clear call to action. Now, where are you going to find people? Your social groups. Talk to friends, ask your friends for referrals, book clubs, your children's teachers and coaches. There are customers everywhere, literally everywhere. You can find them at sporting events of your kids, or just if you're a fan of a professional sporting event, volunteer workers, newsletters. Use your product in public. People will ask questions. There are new accounts and prospects everywhere. Success is neither magical or mysterious. Success is the natural consequence of consistently applying basic fundamentals. And when you do that, you will achieve any mountaintop. The next session will be outrageous customer service. If you want exponential growth, be on next week's call. It's session 3 is the one I am most passionate about, and it is so very important for leaders to embrace and model session 3. You can't miss it. Vision. A leader's job is to look into the future, to see the organization not as it is, but as it can become. Thank you, everyone, for being on our session tonight. We are so grateful you are here, and get ready for a phenomenal year. Thank you. Good night, everyone.